Well, welcome back to 5 Volts Manual Short. Today we're going to go ahead and start with a box of War of the Spark. Absolutely one of my favorite sets that has come out. It's the one I actually came back on after being gone for so long, the 20 years that I had talked about before, not playing Magic or opening many things. And I ended up just falling in love with this set, which kind of drug me back in when I was looking at it to playing again. Lots of strong combos. I mean, there are specific color combos in there that were really strong, but like every color went together, and omnicolor decks went pretty well, and monocolor decks and all of that. I mean, it was a good set overall, and it actually packed a good punch, kind of reckoning back to the good old days of Magic. By good old days, I mean like the archaic days of Magic, when everything packed a punch, everything built up to a bigger piece, and you were able to just kind of go for it, and you know, game-winning cards sitting there at the end, all that fun stuff. So I haven't been able to do as many videos as I was hoping to, simply because I actually ended up like busting my shoulder. And so I wasn't even allowed to like play video games or anything for 3 weeks or something like that. So I'm getting back to this after a rough start to begin with, and it's what it is. There's an Arlen Voice of the Pack to begin with, and Awakening of Virtu Gazi. So I played a lot of drafting with the War of the Spark, and I just skipped past all of those. Look at that. Well, we know what those are. Nice Kaya, and her Oath together in a single pack. Kind of fun. You know, I mean, overall, the set, it's doing pretty well, I think, still. People are really looking at it, seeing the benefit of the cards. They're interacting with a lot of the new stuff coming out. With this new Pioneer, I think they actually... another Ugins. With Pioneer, I think they're actually finding a better foothold even than they were before. Just because Pioneer did remove a lot of those pieces out of there that were part of modern staples, and so now people are on the hunt for what's going to be the Pioneer staples. I haven't really done a lot of constructed for Pioneer yet, so I'm not sure what it's going to be like in the end. Oh, there we go. Nice Karn right there. Third, fourth pack in. Followed by... it was just a common foil. Apparently I'm going to have trouble opening cards and packs of cards today. Open Nyx, Servan. So yeah, I kind of follow some of the news about what's been banned and not all of that. And there is a lot of hype asking for Teferi to be banned out of this set. And still they have left him in so far. I don't know what other people feel about that. I think it's a weird situation. I mean, he is a strong card overall. But there's a lot of Planeswalker control. There's a lot of things that can remove him quickly. Removing the counters, destroying Planeswalkers, all of that stuff. So it's kind of one of those questions, like, is it just because current decks can't beat him outright and people have to work around it? And that's creating upset because people have to actually change up their deck styles, add a little bit more or less. And I think the same kind of goes for Oko. I don't think Oko is as overpowered as people want to make him out to be. Yes, he can be a game contingency. He can win it flat out for you if the person's not ready for it or if he comes out at just the right time. At the same time, people can tend to rely on him a little too much. And then, okay, looks like a pack of doubles. And I think that's going to be a downfall. I think people are going to build decks around him over and over again, and it's just going to end up backfiring eventually. And Wizards sounds like they're pushing out more and more power cards. So while Oko might be dominating right now, I fully believe that he will have something that'll bring him down here in the next set or two. But we'll see. I mean, it's really hard to say. Oh. Enter the God Eternals, foiled. I don't know why I put those there, but I did. Let's not be all chaotic here. I mean, so yeah, War of the Spark, I mean, it's a power set. It really is. I mean, even within itself, it had so many different things to be able to pull off, combos, infinite combos. I believe there was 2 that got pulled on me out of this set that just kind of completely destroyed me. And I'm honored. Anytime somebody pulls off one of those combos against me, I kind of get proud. It's funny, but it's just like to be able to pull off an infinite combo, you know, it's the 0.001% chance of happening. There's my Lily. Nice. With a shiny forest. And I skipped right past all of those uncommons because we all know what they are at this point. I am slowly working on putting together a Liliana deck. But I want to do her with the Oath of Lily and the demons. So I want to do the demon zombie deck. Should be pretty interesting if I ever get it to work the way it does in my head. Which, of course, there's no that's probably never going to happen that way. Just because I've learned over time that the way decks work in my head and the way they work on table are 2 very different scenarios. And that's okay. I mean, I'll still probably do it. I'll still put it together so that we can have house game fun and stuff. But I know it's never going to be a tournament thing or even just constructed out there. There's too many people who play the meta and don't put together decks that are just fun. Or at least that's the way I see it. Whoop. Death Horde Butcher. So. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think of War of the Spark overall. I mean, as a standalone set and how it works into some of the other stuff. I mean, I voiced my opinion. That's easy enough. You probably disagree with me on some of the points, but at the same time, I mean, it's hard to deny that it is overall a powerful set. It has powerhouse cards. Its overall cost per card is down for a set. while there are some of the higher stuff, like Liliana is definitely a high-priced Planeswalker, overall it doesn't seem like there's as many of the powerhouse cards at the higher price point overall. I am not explaining this, it's in my head, right? Overall, it doesn't seem like there's as many powerhouse cards set at higher price points as there is in other sets. Where in this one, the powerhouses seem to be more on par with a lot of the medium power cards and all of that. And there's a lot of lower end cards. You know, low cost Death Touches and Hastings and Flying Lifelinks. I may have just mixed up my sets. I say that, and of course there's 4 giant expensive cards there in a row. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? There's another god. I don't know why he went there. Another common foil. Let's see what we can pull out here. We can rip the pack completely. Not too long ago, I got to actually open an old booster of the Dark. And pulling that open, man, it just slid right open. No resistance at all. Nothing like the newer way they pack things. And it was just wonderful. And it reminded me of all opening the old sets of cards and everything. And how easy it was to keep the packs whole so you could slip the pack back in before scampering home to add it to your actual box of cards. Because, you know, you were supposed to be home right after school and you went to the card shop instead. Oh, Johnny. I know he doesn't have a lot of play right now, but Johnny is honestly probably one of my favorite Planeswalkers. I have probably said that before, and I don't know if it's just because he's a cat or because of the way they kind of make him as a character stand out. But he is. He's one of my favorite characters in this. One of my favorite Planeswalkers. Definitely over a lot of the other ones. And Aid the Fallen foils. I was on Arena the other day, and somebody was playing a zombie army deck, but they were playing zombie angels. And they got it to the point where all of their token creatures came out as 4/4 angels. So, of course, every time they amassed, it became a angel token, a 4/4 angel. And they already had one zombie army on, or no, they didn't have a zombie army. Sorry, they just kept amassing angels. So instead of 1/1 little zombies, they kept getting 4/4 flying kick-your-ass creatures, and I had nothing to defend against that one. And the Wanderer, and I believe we just got one of him also. This is definitely a box of doubles. I mean, we did get a Lily, so I'm not complaining. I think what I'm actually going to be doing with these is looking for ways to make it more exciting, like maybe do this as my collection opening. This particular box, yeah. I'm sorry, something just flew by my face and it confused me very much. And I completely lost my train of thought, but I got a Sarkhan for the trouble. This particular box is actually going out for my Patreons. It is for the standard set for the Patreons. Each of my Patreons will actually receive one of these cards randomly selected. At this point, the card will be selected from amongst the rares and the mythics. because I don't have a lot of Patreons, and I just want to thank them for supporting me as much as they do. So if you want to, go ahead and check out my link below. Sign up to be a Patreon. I mean, it's not a lot. It helps me out. It lets me keep doing this. One of my favorite things to do is open packs of cards. It's weirdly cathartic for me. Oh, third god. There we go. Wonder if we can get the set. I enjoy doing it, and so doing something like having enough Patreons to cover a full box and then sending all the cards out in the mail, I mean, that's exciting to me. And if I can get to the point where I can do that regularly and be able to open some for myself and all of that, it would be great. And as a Patreon, it'll, you know, you always get a fun surprise. So the moral of that rant was, I have a Patreon. People who become my patrons on Patreon each get selected a card out of the box that gets sent to them at random. Completely random. Last month, it was, what was it? I believe I sent out, well, you can go watch the video because it was last month. But I think it was the Thief, the one that lets you play cards off your opponent's deck or something like that. Out of all the cards that could be selected, that was the one that came up, so that's the one that went out. This month, who knows what it could be. I got totally distracted. Plain White Celebration. Foiled. Because these are commons, these are rares. And there goes my I can't pay attention all the time. Well, we're 2/3 of the way through. We got 3 of 5 gods. Trying to see if we can get the other 2 at this point. Would be really fun to get a box of all gods. 1 god left. Can we get the red one? Question of the hour. So also, while I'm doing this, I'm new to it. Everybody knows I'm new to it. You can tell that by the 4 videos I have total at this point. Maybe 5. Depends on what order I post them in. What would you suggest? What would you like to see? I mean, if you've made it this far and you're still paying attention, obviously you don't hate it per se. Maybe you do and you're just waiting to see if there's anything worth putting a positive spin on your comment. I don't know. I mean, I probably talk too much, that's going to be in there, or I babble on about stuff incoherently or something like that. I don't know. Let me know let me know things that you think might be able to make this better. Death Horde Champion. I mean, I could crack jokes about the cards more, though I will tell you right now, I'm probably not that witty, especially compared to some of the people out there that seem to be able to just crack jokes left and right. No, there's Rao. I mean, there's also the option of I only make a few comments throughout it. I don't try to fill the dead space. Maybe I'll play some music or something. I think I've said that before. Maybe I'll give it a try with my next box of Spark. Just go ahead and play some music for most of it. Widespread Brutality. Announce some of the cards as they come up. I mean, that's always an option. See how that works out. I also think I need to get a monitor hooked up so that I don't have to look up at the camera every time that I'm working. But speaking of looking up at the camera, I have gotten a few fixes going. If you haven't noticed, ignite the beacon. That's what I'm doing. I'm igniting the beacon of excitement. Ooh, that was bad. I got a couple lights to actually illuminate the field so I don't have to mess with the levels like I did before. So hopefully it all looks a little bit better. I'm trying the audio record again. It didn't work out last time because all the connection pieces were weird. So we'll see how it works out this time. I also figured out a trick with the camera, which allows me to override the base system to let it record for more than 20 minutes at a time. So we are now 43 seconds past the point where it would have just cut off before, and I would have had to restart and blip it weird. Command the Dread Horde. So yeah, I mean, even in the short period of time, I can see, oh, these things need to be fixed, and I've been able to fix them quick and easy. And bring this stuff to you. Going forward, I have gotten a couple of nice boxes. Dragons and Iconic Masters. I believe I have Masters 25 coming. And Battle Bond, all that I'll be slowly leaking out in combination with some of the standard stuff that I'm opening, just to get a variety, just to see what's out there. One of the videos that's going to be coming up soon is going to be a video of a bunch of starter sets opening up. Pre-release packs, I should say. I think I got 6 boxes of pre-release packs. That I plan to kind of open up all together and have fun looking at sets throughout a period of time of pre-release after they stopped doing the pre-made decks and actually started doing packs of pre-release with the promos and stuff like that. And we can see what special promos pop up out of it and all that fun stuff. And there's the Elder Spell. 2 packs. Can we get the red god? One more god. Well, it is not a god. Last pack. Big questions, big questions. Come on, no whammy. Got some Chandra's Triumph, Rebel Belt Raiders, Price of Betrayal, and Tameo. Tameo is not the god we are looking for. Okay, well, that was a whole box of War of the Spark. Got some nice things going. Got a set of gods and some nice rares going. Again, my Patreons will be receiving one of these rares or mythics. I'll comment somewhere down below which one went out. I mean, it's not a lot to comment. I probably won't always do that, but I will go ahead and comment on which one is going out to my Patreons. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed it. 5 Mana Short is what I go by at this point, so thank you for watching.